Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to do a walkthrough on this kayak here. So this is one that one of our other subscribers had talked about that they had, and it was actually something I planned on doing here pretty soon. So what better time than now? This is a Native watercraft Falcon 11. So Native came out with this boat back in 2021. It was kind of their entry-level fishing, what I would call a fishing floating hybrid kayak. So the reason I say that is it's built for moving water, built for calm flat water lakes and rivers and streams. It's 11 foot long. It only weighs 65 pounds. So with the frame style seat, 11 foot kayak at 65, that's pretty substantial because it does give you that, what I'd call in the category of throw and go. 325 pound weight capacity, and the MSRP for 2023 is $1,049. You can see there's a lot of features on this kayak, so it's not what I would call a bottom tier boat. When I say entry level, that just means on Native's lineup, they're dealing with the large, heavy duty pedal drive kayaks, the Slayers, the Titans, all of those. Again, this one's about way less than half the cost of those, and there's a lot of features on this. So I'll get started on this one. First of all, on the front, nice kind of a hard plastic handle. I don't know that I would use a heavy tie down on that if you're securing it to a truck bed, but this handle has actually changed from the last couple of years. The last couple of years they had kind of a softer rubberized handle that didn't do really well in heat. There's a lot of breakage on that. Moving forward to the hatch, you do have the benefit of both in-hull storage and a large tank well, and we'll get to that here in a second. But the hatch, you can see the bungee here. That's good for like a dry bag, but it's also kind of made for your paddle stager. So if you get to an area where you're fishing, you want to set your paddle down really easily, you can just kind of slide that blade on in there. You can see in here, this, again, large opening. You have access to the entire hull to store gear in. I always like these here. So this little line anchor here, that's really good if you've got a small dry box that you got your phone, keys, and wallet in. Get your little carabiner clip and tether it to that, so that way you're not fishing for your gear on the inside of the hull. Moving on to the deck here, again, nice adjustable foot pegs on the slide rails. Native has their own scupper hole and scupper plug system. So these are kind of ribbed, so they fit in there really nice. They stay put. They don't allow a lot of water in, if any. And the scupper holes are kind of on the bigger side, so this will drain a lot easier because of that. And they're scattered throughout the boat. You got two here, two here. You got two more behind the seat, and you have two more in the tank well there. A molded in gear pod here. This is the, for smaller items. It's also really good for those of you that like to run depth finders on your kayaks. So your battery and your wiring can go in here. You have a little cork plug in here that keeps water out. That's also where your wiring will go through for your transducer mount underneath the boat. So a transducer mount, basically what that is, those of you that are not familiar, it's this little part right here. So that is for your fish finders. Will have a little sonar that is what's sending that signal down in the water. That mounts up underneath the kayak, but it's protected from debris and the ground underneath you when you're putting it up on the shore. Little gear track here for putting, you can mount your display to there, other items. And you've also got these rails on the side with a little padded side carry handle, but that also carries those Yak Attack, those T-bolt mounted accessories. You've got some deck padding here that keeps you quiet if you want to stand up on the kayak, or if you have gear kind of going around the inside of your boat. Again, noise is the enemy when you're fishing, but it's also comfortable if you like to barefoot it. It gives you a cool place to put your feet down so you're not putting it on hot plastic. One of the stars of the show here is the seat. So you've got a nice padded breathable seat. It is high-low adjustable, which is really nice as well. So that's the low position. So there's your high position. It is tethered. You can see the bungee here. That bungee will hook right there and back here as well. So that keeps the tension downward, so you can do it on the fly and you don't have to worry about popping your chair out like I just did there. Moving back, you've got your flush mount rod holders installed on the back. They are kind of kicked out at an angle, both 45 degrees and toward the side. Comes with this little paddle clip here. We call it a taco clip. That's where you can kind of snap your paddle in. Just a good, quick place to put a paddle. But one thing you want to keep track of is when you're putting it in the back of a truck, if you got multiple kayaks or multiple gear, you want to be careful with that. You don't want anything putting a lot of pressure on that, because you run the risk of snapping that. Once that snaps, there's not going to be a lot of use. You can order a replacement, of course, which is not expensive, but it's just something easy that can break on the side. You can kind of see how far that sticks out there. Really large tank well. The tank well also kind of slopes downward toward the seat. That allows water to drain out back toward your scupper holes here. So if you do get some water popping up from there, it will drain right back underneath you. And then on the back here, you've got another handle, just like the front, that kind of harder plastic. One thing that does kind of make this kayak unique is it does come with a wheel, what they call the wheel and the keel. So it's a wheel with a bracket. That is going to mount using these two screws here. So you just take those out, install it, tighten them back down. Never use a drill on that. Always use a hand screwdriver, because again, you don't want to strip out the plastic. The one thing that I would caution about that, this kayak, it wouldn't be so much of an issue, but a lot of the kayaks on the market that come with that wheel in the back, that seems like a really good feature. But when you're talking about kayaks like Vibe and Feel Free, those much heavier kayaks that have that wheel in the back, that wheel is pointed downward and the boat's running like this. When you move that up, your boat is, the gravity is pulling that boat down to the ground, and that wheel is going out like that. So it creates a little bit of a tearing. So the heavier your boat, the more that weight is going to kind of work those bolts loose. It's going to loosen the holes in the plastic, and eventually you're going to get some water going in there. This kayak, weighing at 65 pounds, it's not a huge deal, but I don't know that I would put a whole lot of gear in the back with that wheel installed. A lot of our customers just simply don't need that wheel, being that it's a much lighter kayak. But just keep in mind, there's a lot of boats out there, a lot of kayaks that have that wheel installed. If that boat's a heavier boat, you just expect to see some issues. If you start seeing some unexplained water inside the hull, you may want to check the mounting on the wheels on the back of them. So anyways, great kayak. That continues to be one of our best sellers. It's a relatively new kayak, so there may not be a whole lot of videos out there on it. This is a new color for 2023. It's called Shark Blue. Really nice. You got a couple of other colors. So it comes in this orange, like you see on this Liquid Logic kayak. It comes with this Venom, which is this kind of highlighter yellow green, and then it also comes in a gray, which is really nice as well. But again, great kayak. If you have any experience with this kayak, drop it down in the comments. Let people know what you think about it. If somebody's looking for this kayak and stumbled across this video, those comments may really help them with that. Also, if you got any additional content you want to see on the channel, drop a comment. Again, as always, like and subscribe if you like the content, you want to see more of it. It helps us grow, and definitely appreciate the support. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon.